All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and start. I want to introduce Francesca Bush to you. We don't see her right now. She's going to show us a cafe, and then after that, she's going to turn on her camera. So for right now, you're just going to see me. Francesca Bush is an instructional designer at the Community Colleges of Spokane. She is our favorite instructional designer, and we are okay with people knowing that. We've decided to come out and tell people that she is our favorite. Do you want to go ahead and say hi, Francesca, since we can't see
Hi,
you?
everyone.
All right, so we're going to do this in kind of a question and answer format, and I just want to remind everybody that the purpose of this webinar is to be kind of an introduction to the cafe, and Francesca is going to show us all kind of the cool things that they're doing at Community Colleges of Spokane. So we're going to save questions and more technical topics for our next webinar. But please do give us those questions. You feel free to type them in now. I'll be monitoring the chat during this whole session. So if we want to go ahead and get started, Francesca, I know that you're doing a little bit with Cranium Cafe with CCS Online. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So let me see. Hopefully you can all see the CCS online page. What we do is if a student has a question about one of our online programs or our certificates, they can come down here and click on the Cranium Cafe logo, and then it shows the potential student who's available to talk. If no one has a green dot, like for instance, I have a red dot right now, that means I'm offline, but students can certainly make an appointment with me. Brianna happens to be online, and a student could come in here and just chat with Brianna. So we use this in a multitude of ways. I'm going to talk about two specific ways. And the first way is if a student, like I said, is interested in one of our online degrees, they can come and make an appointment with Justin. And if they're interested in having online academic advising, if they're an SCC student, we don't do this for our SFCC students, but they can schedule an appointment with Sammy Salvatore, who is our academic counselor for students. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to request a chat with Brianna. So hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing right now. It's going to pop up here in a second. We don't have the greatest bandwidth here at CCS. And it's loading. There it is. And so I'm just going to enter fake username and a password. It's very easy. If you haven't registered, you simply pick a username, add your email, and choose a password and register. Very straightforward. And now I'm signing in. And I'm going to ask Brianna to chat with me. Let me move this over a little. Yes, I definitely would like the cafe. And then here in a second, I'm going to, right there, get a button that says Enter Cafe, and I'll click on that. And then it's going to ask me a couple questions. I want to allow Adobe Flash Player, and then I'll just close out of the screen. And then as you can see, it's definitely picking up audio for me, and I can see myself on the screen. So my camera is working and my microphone is working. You can also test your microphone by clicking right here. And if your microphone, oops, I'm hearing myself. If it's not working, you can come here and click on the drop down and select the microphone that is connected to your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and join the cafe. And now you can see Brianna in the screen. You're not going to be able to hear Brianna. I will be able to hear Brianna. But in a normal situation, we both can hear each other. If your camera has an audio device in it, or if you have a headset. If students don't have a headset or faculty don't have a headset and they just have a camera, they can use the chat box. And if you don't have a camera, you can still use the chat box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that Brianna is a potential student, and I'm going to share my screen with her and show her some of the programs that we are offering to students who want to take online programs. So I just come over here and I click on share screen, and then as you can see right here, it says allow mycraniumcafe.com to run Java platform. I just come over here and click allow, and then I want to make allow and remember, make sure it doesn't say block plugin. I want to say allow and remember and click OK. And then click run, and now I'm going to see this blue box. So Brianna is only able to see everything that is in this blue box. You want to make sure that you don't violate FERPA, so make sure everything is minimized on your screen that you don't want the student to see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to CCS Online. I'm going to open a new tab. Go to CCS Online, and Brianna is now going to be able to see, when I click on online degrees, I can kind of go through the different degrees that we offer online and go into depth with her about what the prerequisites might be, you know, if she's a transferring student, what some of those courses that she's taken might go towards the degree that she's interested in. I can stop sharing with Brianna now, and I'm going to go back to that screen. And Brianna's going to upload, or actually I'm going to upload a document real quick. This is what our academic advisor, Sammy, would do with our SCC students. You just come over here underneath File Controls and click on Upload. I'm going to come over here, click on the folder, and I'm going to go to my desktop. And I'm going to click on the AA worksheet and open that up. And it just takes a second. And now Brianna is seeing exactly what I'm seeing. And I can use this highlighter over here and say, you know, it looks like you've already completed English 101, Brianna. Now we just need to focus on maybe taking English 102 or CMST 101. Or, you know, maybe you've completed this entire distribution area. Actually, let me do it over here. Let me clear that out. And I want to say you've completed your health and PE distribution area. That's one thing you don't have to worry about now. And so you can use it in different ways. And then, you know, if Brianna has any questions, if she's not able, she doesn't have audio, she can just, Brianna, if you want to show them, click on the chat box. Yes. And right now you can see Brianna's asking a question because it will have a little dot, 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 the little orange dots. What is zoology? Oh, that's a great question. Oops, I can't type today. Question. And then I would let her know that that is, you know, what that's going to count for underneath her science distribution area. And Sammy would go into depth about that. I'm not an academic counselor, thank God, so I don't have to tell Brianna what zoology is. So that's just one way you can use that chat feature. I think that kind of sums up. I do want to share one funny story about, we have this student, he loves Cranium Cafe, and he will Cranium Cafe with us occasionally. It's always usually around 8 in the morning when he's making his healthy green shake. He's either blending it, and then he's like, I'll be right back, and he comes back with this funky green shake that he drinks every morning, and he'll just chat about how it's going in his courses, and you know, some of the challenges he might be encountering, or, you know, maybe he just wants to have a conversation because he's lonely. But, you know, it really allows Justin, who's our e-learning student coordinator, to connect with our students who are distance learners or aren't able to come and have the experience of taking classes on ground. So that kind of sums up how we use it for CCS Online.
Sorry, all right. And can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I know that you've been doing some things with e-tutoring, some online tutoring. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I'd love to. So we have, you know, SCC has has really been enthusiastic and really proactive in identifying how Cranium Cafe will best benefit students who are wanting online tutoring. And they actually have a person who is focused on this solely and is saying, you know, I think we could adjust this or we can do this with Cranium Cafe, and it's awesome to be able to have that interaction with her, someone that's really interested in wanting to provide online tools to our distance learners. And SFCC is equally enthusiastic. I was going to show you real quick, SCC site, we're currently working on some of the buttons, so I'm going to show you SFCC site. So if a student wants to meet with an online tutor, they just come to SpokaneFalls.edu. They can also do this at SCC, and they can click on peer tutoring. And they can come down here and click on the Cranium Cafe icon. And then as you can see right here, it lists all the tutors that are available and the different subjects that they are qualified to tutor in. For instance, right here, Isaac Smith tutors in astronomy. And Isaac right now, we have several extension centers, and we have a group of students at our Pullman campus, which is about an hour and a half away, who need tutoring in astronomy. So those groups of students get together in one room, and Isaac is at the tutoring center at SFCC in his own little room that they've created, just set aside specifically for online tutoring for Cranium Cafe. And he meets with them, and he goes over astronomy. And usually students, we found, really appreciate having a tutor that has gone through the same course that they're going through. So Cranium Cafe allows us to offer our students who need tutoring, tutors that know what the instructor expects of them and knows how to assist the student. And the great thing about Cranium Cafe is, let me go back over here to Brianna, is, you know, the student can upload, if they're needing assistance with writing a paper, they can upload that paper, and that writing tutor can assist them with that. So I think Brianna's going to upload a paper, just to give you an example. So Brianna can upload files, I can upload files, both of us can record sessions, both of us can chat. I just wanted to... All right, so there's the paper, and so maybe I want to come in here and use the rectangle function, and I like the color blue, so I'll click on blue, and I want to say, you know what, Brianna, this section right here, and I'll go ahead and put a sticky note, is, I'll move that up, oops. Give me 1 second. This heading, oops, I can't type either. Heading is not to APA format. So, and then I can just leave that message right there, and then Brianna can refer back to it maybe when our session is concluded. She will have that document to refer back to. So anything you do, any markups that you make, there's also the ellipse button, so you can do a lot of cool different things with the presentation tools. Brianna, is there anything else maybe I should point out with the toolbar right here that you see might be beneficial for our listeners or our attendees to know? Oh, that's right. Thank you. You can switch back and forth between pages. As you can see, this is an 11-page document. Wow. And so that's another cool feature. But I think that kind of sums up how we're using it for our tutoring centers right now. Again, just to reiterate, it's great because we have a lot of distance learners, students living in rural locations, unable to come to the campus for tutoring, and this allows us to, you know, have face-to-face interaction with them and help them, you know, succeed in their courses. So I think we're probably ready to move on to how maybe instructors are using Cranium Cafe in their courses. And one way to do that is, and I'm going to go ahead and close out Cafe now. Yeah. So thank you, Brianna.
And you can turn on your camera if you want.
Okay, I will do. I want to make sure that I'm
Mhm.
out of Cranium Cafe. And I'm going to kind of minimize this and minimize this. And is my camera, are you able to see me? Because I'm not actually, you are? Okay.
Yep.
Good deal. All right, so I'm just going to show you how an instructor can use this for office hours. We really encourage our instructors, especially our instructors who are offering completely online courses, so there's no hybrid component, to meet with the students, and Cranium Cafe gives them the opportunity to do that. So they simply come over, they're in their course, they come over here and click on Cranium Cafe, and you can come in here. As you can see, I've set myself as a teacher in this course. I can set my cafe hours so that students can schedule to meet with me during these times. And then if I happen to be online, students, of course, can cafe with me if they like. So that's just one of the ways, and students are able to meet with their instructors and have a more personalized experience when taking an online course. And that's kind of sums it up for how instructors are using it.
Awesome. And then do you want to just take, before you leave that tab, you want to just take a minute and okay, so just to clarify, this is the back end. This is for the course that you were in? Oh, I'm not hearing you. Francesca? Wait, Francesca?
So if a student wants to meet with an academic advisor in one of these 3 programs, they click on that Cranium Cafe logo, and they can come see all the advisors or instructors who are willing to meet with them online. So let's say, hypothetically, I want to meet with Cynthia. I would just come over here and click on Make an Appointment, and I can see that she has Cranium Cafe hours on Friday between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. And then she has 30 minutes here at the end of today. And I can come over here and just schedule an appointment with her. It's pretty simple, and it's very easy for the instructor to use as well as the student. And I would say a lot of students really want to be able to do academic advising virtually because they're working all day long. And if an advisor or an instructor can provide that academic advising after hours, that's being extremely student-centered, and I think that's what ultimately we're all about. So that kind of covers academic advising online. What's really cool is Tamara Odom. She is one of our librarians for our district, and she is really trying to use Cranium Cafe and all that it has to offer. So as you can see here, she's online, available to chat. She's actually downloaded the Cranium Cafe app to her iPhone because she's on the road a lot, and she wants students and instructors to be able to reach out to her. So, and Tamara's goal is to help students use our library sites to do research and also help instructors identify open educational resources that they can use in their online courses or in their courses that are on ground. So if an instructor or student wants to do that, again, all they have to do is make an appointment, or they can actually do a live chat with Tamara, but she informed me that she's in a meeting right now, so I won't do that to her. But I think that's a really great way to use it. A lot of us are always on the go, and Cranium Cafe allows us to be flexible with that. We can download that app so that we can stay connected to our students and to our faculty. Yeah, so that kind of sums up how our librarians are using it. And I think, we're really trying to figure out different innovative ways we can use Cranium Cafe. Right now I'm working with Justin on creating a course called the Commons course. And what that course will do essentially is hopefully provide online students with a sense of community. If you offer online courses or you're out there promoting online programs, you more than likely know it's really hard to help students and provide students with a sense of community. And so we're really trying to figure out how we can do that online, how we can personalize it. And Cranium Cafe is going to help us do that, we believe, because with this Commons course, students are going to be able to use Premium Cafe to connect with their classmates and build connections. And so they're not just going to see a name or a chat box, they're going to have an opportunity to speak with their classmates and see their classmates, and so it will take interaction to another level. So I think we're really excited on ways that we're going to be able to use Cranium Cafe, and I'm hoping that anyone out there can give us ideas and suggestions on maybe ways that we can use Cranium Cafe that we haven't thought of. So that kind of sums up the ways that Community Colleges of Spokane is using Cranium Cafe as of today.
One question that we're seeing is, do students need an account? And so you went through that kind of at the beginning. Do you want to talk a little bit about that really quick?
So students have an account if they're a student of your community college and you have Cranium Cafe. So if they have a Canvas account, then they're able to get Cranium Cafe. If they don't, like we have a lot of students or potential students who contact us. As you can see, let me go back to CCS Online. If they don't have an account, they can just simply, I'm not logged in right now, so I can go here and try to make an appointment with myself using the fake login. Oops, I'm still logged in, so I can't do that. But when a student comes in there, they're given the opportunity to register, or they can sign in. I believe it's with LinkedIn. Help me out here, Leslie. There's
Facebook.
3. Yeah, Facebook.
LinkedIn, Facebook, or they can just give an email address.
It's very simple. In fact, I've never heard a complaint. I haven't heard a complaint or an issue of actually logging into Canvas or into Cranium Cafe.
Awesome. So I think you pretty much covered everything we had planned on covering. Is there anything else, or?
Well, I think everyone might be interested, especially those who are from our community colleges, and what I just pulled up on the screen, the new buttons.
Okay, yes, thank you, Francesca. This is and I will talk about this because this is something we're really excited about. Francesca, can you scroll over some of the pictures so the button shows up? Just your pointer. Yeah, there. Okay, so if you see under Brianna, there's that really small kind of sleek, that's just our social icon. That's our Cafe Now button. And so what we saw earlier were those bigger cafe cards, and that's what we are seeing like on the web page. But not everybody has really liked that, and it doesn't go with everybody's website. So we created this, and this button, there are a couple different sizes and coloring options, so you can pick however it best fits in with your web page. But you can kind of just list or just plant this next to other social icons, like you would see Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, and then this would just go alongside that. And the same little green light comes on when you're online, and it's off and it's red. See, mine, under Leslie Brown, it's red because I'm not online, but Brianna is green. And so people can just start talking to you or from your webpage. So this is kind of a nice, different option for people who don't want the whole card. Let's see. We have a question. Do you have regular student usage, or do students use this once or twice in their time at school? That's a good question. Do you want to take that one, or I can take that one, Francesca?
We could both take it. Speaking from our standpoint, our students are using it more and more as they learn about it and they become familiar with it. They're finding out. Once a student becomes comfortable with it, they use it regularly. So we're seeing our usage definitely increase by our students as well as our faculty.
Yeah, and we see both things. There's I mean, sometimes there are students on other campuses who use this. There are students who are on campus a lot, but before they move to campus, so when, like you said, Francesca, when they're just prospective students, um, some students we don't see use it that much beyond that point, but it's really nice for communicating with that student and communicating about financial aid, enrollment, and setting schedules before those students are actually on campus. So aside from the students who use it all the time, there are some situations in which students just use it a couple times. Um,
I think that that's a very fair answer. Yes.
I like to be fair. So I think that's kind of it. There's one question that we're getting, and if you want to speak to this at all, how is Cranium Cafe different from something like Google Hangouts? Do you want to? I can start. You can jump in, or
Well, I can kind of start, and then maybe you can fill in behind me. But I think it integrates really nicely with Canvas, which is our LMS. So, and not only that, um, it I mean, we can pull it into our sites. I know into our websites. I I don't know. I would over the two, based on like my experience that I've had with Cranium Cafe over the past year. It's just it's for me. It's easier to use and it's a lot more fun to use. If that makes sense. So back to you, Leslie.
Okay, so I'll keep talking about that, and then there's another interesting question we'll get to in a second. So the way we typically explain the difference between Cranium Cafe and tools like Google Hangouts is, so Hangout tools, they're kind of for people you want to chat with all the time and forever. So not necessarily somebody like your advisor or your professor, because there are a lot of those steps right in the beginning, and that's actually really hard for students. We found that a lot of students don't really turn to a tutor or somebody else in their class or a professor and ask for help and then go through all the steps of um, adding them to their contact list, because then they're emailing back and forth, and then they're trying to get each other's contact information, and they have to download the actual Hangout software, and this is all really browser based, and so we see that creates extra steps between the student and the support that they need, whereas what we're trying to offer those other students is what students who are on campus all the time get to do. Those students get to walk around campus, knock on their professor's door, or meet with a bunch of students in a library, and they can just sit down and have immediate one-on-one attention. And we want to offer that kind of door to students who are not on campus all the time, because so right now the system is really kind of just limited to really kind of, I mean, just the elite students, the students who were everybody 30 years ago. Everybody used to be on campus all the time, but now it's really like less than about a third of all undergraduate students, at least. The rest of them are commuters, and they have jobs and families, and so we still want them to be able to form relationships with their support teams and their advisors and other students. Let's see. Is Cranium Cafe FERPA compliant? Yes, Cranium Cafe is FERPA compliant. That's another really, really big difference. And Francesca, you mentioned that a little bit earlier. So some people might have missed that. Francesca, can you switch your page to, so everybody sees our face all the time. So we could just leave it on one of your nice pages.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, so we're getting a question. It puts
Can I say something really quick,
yes,
Leslie?
please. Mm-hmm.
So back to FERPA, like in Washington State, and I don't know how many of you are from Washington State on here, but when you're recording a session, you have to notify that student that, you know, this session is being recorded, and then you can proceed, and that should be sufficient if they give their authorization to proceed with recording the session and saving the session to remaining FERPA compliant. We have academic advisors who brought this up because they want to make sure that they're compliant, but they also want to be able to have sessions, record sessions, have the student know the session is being recorded, but only recorded on one side. And so that is an option that Cranium Cafe provides you, so it can be a one-sided recording, but you always have to have the student's permission, especially in Washington State, to move forward with recording the session. So, but it's definitely, everything we've done and checked, it's definitely FERPA compliant.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. Can you show the one of the tutoring pages? One of the questions we just got. So the knock on the door idea kind of puts the onus and responsibility for initiating the meeting on the student. Yes, it is. We're really wanting to offer that accessibility to those students. So yes, this is for students to reach out to their support teams. When it's in a Canvas course and when students are online, then that's more for closed group interaction. And so a professor, anybody on that roster can initiate meetings with somebody else on that roster. So there is that difference. But when we are integrating into a web page, yes, that's really one-way communication. That's like a help desk that you put on a web page. So people go to you and they'll ask you questions while they're there, but you wouldn't like pick up your desk and go chase somebody down to chat with them. Let's see, another question. How do you see who on campus is using Cranium Cafe so you can put them in your group? Okay, so that's getting a little bit more into the Canvas integration. I can go ahead and email these people, but that's more of what we're going to be talking about in the next one.
We if they're enrolled in the course, Leslie, then they're gonna. Oops. Tell me that Canvas has not crashed. 1 second. Oh, 1 second. I want to show you if you're in a course, then you click on the Cranium Cafe tab, and you're going to see all your classmates who are in that course with you. So I was just going to go back and show that real quickly.
Oh.
Well, that's not good. Let me try Chrome. All right. Well, we might have an issue.
Oh.
So, but anyway, yeah, if you're in the Canvas course, at least in our system, I'm not sure how it looks in Blackboard or Angel, but you can definitely see all the classmates and chat with them using Cranium Cafe.
So that's in Canvas. Thank you. And another way to do it is using the web page integration. That's mostly like for like intentionally putting a group together, and so that would be somebody who does tech for your campus. you would go to them and you would talk about getting, this is only if you don't use it in your LMS. Then you could have a link that's maybe a private link, but then you can put a group of people on there and then they can all interact with each other. Let's see. Is there administrative function? Is there other ways to see if staff and faculty are using Community Cafe? Okay, yeah, so staff and faculty. All right, so Francesca, at your schools, when faculty are doing online hours, is that mostly in Canvas courses, or are they putting that on like faculty web pages, or how are they doing that?
Instructors are doing it within their courses.
Okay.
So the only time that they're outside of those courses are if they're offering academic advising. Like we have some instructors that provide academic advising, especially over at Spokane Falls Community College. So they will have hours on the actual program site. But yes, they're in our LMS. The instructors are in our LMS when they're providing tutoring that relates to their courses.
Okay. Okay, so for outside of an LMS integration, there's a question. So how would I add you, Francesca, so we could cafe? So we're getting away from the idea of adding people. So what you would do instead is you would like give somebody the link to where your door is. So if you were an advisor, you would put your cafe card or your button on your advising page, say, if you wanted to do that. And then you would give somebody the link. You would just say, go to our webpage, and then you can initiate a cafe with me. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, Kim. Excellent question. And yes, is there anything you wanted to mention about the admin administrative function? I can talk a little bit about that, but do you use it there? Oh, I can't hear you.
I don't. No, I don't use it.
Okay.
No, I don't use it. No.
Okay. So we do have admin, and you can run reports, and you can see like who has met with who and how long they've met. And so that's something we set up for you. So whoever does the admin, they have a special login, and then you can use that for a lot of really great analytics. So I think that is everything for today. We've covered a ton. Francesca, you've covered a crazy amount of information. That means that I can't imagine there's more that you would want to cover.
I do. I want to share because I love the part where we pull them into the web pages, but I'm glad you'll be talking about that next time.
Awesome. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you, everybody who has joined us today. If there are questions that we haven't addressed, go ahead. You can tweet them at us. You can email them to me at leslie@craniumcafe.com. We will be holding our next webinar, and that will be going, as I said earlier, more in depth, and we'll be addressing more technical questions. And that will be on Thursday again, November 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and that will be probably me and somebody else. I don't know if we'll ever find anyone as good as Francesca, but you've created really high standards. It's going to be really intimidating. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to go ahead and close, but I hope to hear from you if any of you have questions. Thank you so much.